What is up, everybody? J Nell here with my UFC Fight Night, I believe it's 78 recap video. I did do a 15-second prediction video on the co-main event and the main event that you can find exclusively on Twitter and Instagram, so you have to follow me there. But real quick, I want to mention Henry Cejudo getting the split decision victory over Jussier Formiga in the flyweight division. If you know, he is an Olympic gold medalist in freestyle wrestling. You don't really see his wrestling because he's basically training for Mighty Mouse, Demetrius Johnson. So I just want to know what you thought of his progress here. This was a very close victory for him. He's just kind of eked out everything. Eked out the shots landed, eked out the control, eked out the takedowns, but really he's working on his stand-up. I saw a lot more kicks from him in this fight, which I want to see. You have to be good everywhere to get with the Mighty Mouse. So let me know what you thought of his progress. Now, I went one-on-one on my picks. I got the co-main event. I chose Ricardo Lamas to beat Diego Sanchez in his featherweight debut, which I thought was actually a really good debut and a really good fight. First round, very close. I've always said that Ricardo Lamas is more skilled than he is athletically gifted. He makes up for it in skill. He's a very heady fighter. And Diego didn't fight like Diego Sanchez. He sat back, he fought smart. I forgot he was a black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. We saw that here. We saw some of the most beautiful grappling exchanges I've seen in a long time here, up against the cage down the canvas here. Very smart. They were thinking, including Diego. So that's what I want to see from Diego. That was improvement there. Second round, Ricardo ended up landing this kick to the calf. Now, I've never seen a kick to the calf affect someone like this, but you let me know if Diego is injured, because that's what it looked like. I mean, he started limping on it immediately. Every time Ricardo went back to it, he threw him completely off his game. He started putting his back up against the canvas and started bringing out old Sanchez, baiting him on, talking smack, talking about, come on, because he knew he couldn't fight him in space anymore. So even then, he was still thinking, this is the most cerebral I've ever seen from Diego Sanchez. Stay in the featherweight division. Maybe the weight cut had something to that. Maybe, I don't know if he's injured. Again, let me know if Diego Sanchez is injured. Ricardo opened him up in the second round, but like Brian Stan said, Diego has so much scar tissue. You look at him long enough, he opens up. And then in the third round, put a stamp on the victory there. Unanimous decision in favor of Ricardo Lamas. Good win for him. And quite frankly, a decent showing for Diego Sanchez, and I like the headiness of it. I think he should stay there, get more healthy and comfortable in that weight class, see how his body handles it. Ricardo, he was much bigger than Ricardo, but Ricardo's calves were bigger than his, so I thought that was interesting. Plus, Ricardo's arms were really huge. Looks like he put on some weight. Anyway, who would you like to see both men fight next? Now, main event, and I did not get this. I chose Kelvin Gastelum to beat Neil Magny. He did not. Neil Magny, man, he's a solid fighter. He's a smart fighter, and this was a great fight of the night. And we also saw some beautiful grappling exchanges, some beautiful dirty boxing here. Kelvin could not handle his range. Neil had like 5-6 inch reach advantage, and Neil fights real long. He's also really diverse and real smart, man. I was impressed with both of these men. Again, this wasn't a bad loss for Kelvin now. This was the first time he was able to make weight, healthy, looked fit. He lasted all 5 rounds, got his second win in the 4th. Now, let's break it down. The first 2 rounds, Neil just kind of swarmed him. He was first to the punch. Diversity in striking. Again, Kelvin could not find his range. And Neil didn't give him time to find his range. He was throwing everything at him. Up against the fence, he took him down, was going for submissions. Neil's just a smart fighter. Third round's where it kind of turned around a little bit. Kelvin was able to find his range a little bit. He still had power in that round. He's very strong in that weight class when he makes it healthily. 4th and 5th round, Kelvin found the range. Kelvin got his second win. He knocked Neil down twice in the 4th round, but Neil's so smart. He started going for standing Kimuras just to slow Kelvin down. He would try to take him down. He would use submission attempts to get back up when Kelvin would take him down, because he was landing some nice elbows and ground and pound, even though Neil was grabbing the hands. Neil's just a smart fighter. He was able to stifle Kelvin, was able to not get finished. But the 4th and 5th round, Kelvin was whooping that ass. I believe it was a split decision in favor of Neil. I totally agree. Neil, I was trying to think what Kelvin could have done to win this fight, and I think it was just sheer experience, because he was able to get his grip in the 4th and 5th round. So I think it's just more time in the octagon. Kelvin's 23 years old, and Neil honestly, he fights like 6 times a year. And he jumps in on short notice, as he did here, all the time against opponents ranked higher than him, as he did here. I like Neil. I like Kelvin. Who would you like to see both of these men fight next? It was a good event. I did not see the beginning or the Tough Enough Latin America series at all. So let me know who won. I don't know. Let me know who won. Who would you like to see both of the men in the main event fight next? Let me know any injury updates, how you did on your picks. Follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, where you can get exclusive 15-second prediction and recap videos. Subscribe, like, talk to me, take care, and goodbye.